Good evening, everyone. I call to order the September 23rd, 2019 meeting of the Victoria City Council. First order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I've got some announcements. First off, there'll be a public open house on Monday, October 7th for Wasserman Park from 6 to 8 p.m. here at City Hall in the council chambers. Also on October 7th, there'll be a closed meeting for the city manager's performance evaluation at 4 p.m. in the conference room. What's going to happen on that night, just so people know, the council will open up an open session, announce the closed session, go to closed session. There'll be no other business conducted that night, but we'll be here for the open session, and then after it, Bob, I think we come back out and close the open session, and then we're done.
Mayor, you're correct. That's right.
Okay, so that's going to be on October 7th. Next, on Monday, October 14th at 5 p.m., there'll be a council workshop to discuss local option sales tax, and Bar Engineering will provide an update to the council on a well siting study in the city's south and west growth area. Then at the October 14th regular meeting of the City Council at 6:30, Eastern Carver County School District 112 Superintendent will give a brief presentation on the district's upcoming referendum. Then on Thursday, October 17th at 5:30, there'll be a special meeting of the City Council for resident and business input on the local option sales tax. The sixth item, the 2020 budget discussions will continue at two upcoming council workshops on November 12th and November 15th, both at 5 p.m. And on December 9th at 6:30 p.m., the council will consider adoption of the 2020 budget and 5-year capital improvement plan. Item 7, our friends just north of us at Carver Park Reserve are making progress on the 10-mile single-track performance bike trail. The grand opening is scheduled, weather permitting, for early summer 2020. We're going to go ahead and share updates on that on the city's website as they become available. Watch for the first post sometime next week, and we'll also link directly to the Carver Park Preserve website for follow-up on that. The final announcement tonight is I just want to kind of share a little bit of a housekeeping change. At times when the council goes into workshop and I ask for a motion to open up discussion, and then council gets into discussion, and then we try to amend that. The original motion, it gets a little clunky. It makes it a little difficult for staff to follow and the public and the council. So I think what we're going to do when we get into those situations going forward is we'll just call for a motion to open discussion. We'll have our discussion. The council will form whatever the motion is that they want. We'll then bring that motion forward and vote on that motion, and instead of trying to start off with the motions. I think that'll just be a little cleaner, not only for the council and staff, but for the public. Okay. So we're going to try that the next time something like that comes up. Okay. That's all the announcements. Next, in the open forum, I have no slips. Is there anybody that would like to address the council? Once, twice, sold. Can I have a motion to adopt the final agenda?
I make a motion that we adopt the final agenda.
Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? The final agenda is adopted. Consent agenda. Is there anybody that would like to, and I know, Cindy, you have one item. Is there anybody in the public or council that would like to pull anything else from the consent agenda? Cindy, you're pulling which one?
I'm pulling the minutes for the EDA meeting, which will be held when you meet. The EDA meets again in December, so it will not be for approval tonight.
So that's only the one item under item 6.1. You're just pulling just the EDA minutes?
That's correct.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody else want to pull anything? Okay. Can I have a motion to approve the amended consent agenda?
Make a motion we approve the amended consent agenda.
Is there a second, please?
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the modified consent agenda signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The modified consent agenda is adopted. Okay. The one item on the agenda tonight is the public hearing for a noise permit Before I call for the public hearing, Cindy, do you want to give a brief overview, please?
Yes, Tom Jenkins has submitted a request for a noise permit on September 28th, and he did send the request earlier in the year, so usually it would happen sooner than this, but with staff turnover, it got to the wrong place, and with the busyness of everything, he didn't notice that he didn't get a response. So it did go through the development team, and everything was approved. They just want to have the no parking sign placed on the opposite side of the fire hydrant, or on the same side as the fire hydrant.
Got it.
And he knows about it and is willing to do that. And he is in the audience, but everything is approved on the staff level.
Okay, thank you. At this point, I'm going to open the public hearing. Is there anybody that would like to speak to this topic? Okay.
I'd be happy to answer any questions anybody has.
Council, any questions?
None?
I don't think we have any questions. So at this point then, seeing that nobody wants to speak, can I have a motion from the council, please, to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second?
All discussion? All in favor? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? The public hearing is closed. To actually approve this, Cindy, I assume you need a vote?
That's correct. A motion and a
I
second.
make a motion, we approve the temporary noise permit for Thomas Jenkins at 8440 Gallery Parkway on Friday, September 28th, 2019, until 11 p.m., with the stipulation that the Jenkins are to place a temporary no parking signs on the hydrant side of Gallery Parkway.
Before I ask for a second, I want to correct, it's actually Saturday,
Yeah,
September 20th.
just strike Friday, just have
It
September,
says Friday, but it was meant to be Saturday, so,
strike Saturday, Friday. We'll just go with September 28th.
September 28th.
Thank you.
I think that's pretty clear. Can I have a second on that motion, please?
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries unanimously. Sorry it took so long. Roundtable. Council, any items?
Nothing for me, Mayor.
Judy, Tom? I can actually say Tom because there's only one other Tom tonight, so.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Reports. I'm sorry this is taking so long. Bob?
I want to keep you under 10 minutes, so I have nothing to report.
Dana?
Well, now I'm going to break the bank
Oh,
here.
okay.
We got two
There's always
items
one in the
tonight.
crowd.
Yeah, there's always one. There's two reports. So we have the public safety reports for the previous month. And just a note, as we move forward with implementation of our agenda management software, we're running two kind of dual track for the next few meetings. So we have samples of the new agenda format, and we'll be working with council, but we have that out, and we will have samples out for the public to look at. Reports, those public safety reports, so police and fire, or sheriff and fire, are going to come under the consent in the future, because it fits with kind of our change. So you'll be accepting those reports each month going forward as part of the consent agenda item, and obviously you could pull that for discussion if there's any questions, but thank you.
Super, thanks. Deb, any?
Nothing from me, Mayor.
Judy?
Yes. After the last meeting, when we talked about the yard waste, I met with Jim, I spoke with him actually, and we came to the conclusion, because of the third week in October being MEA, we should not do that then. So
You're talking about the yard waste?
yes, the yard waste. So we decided on the last weekend of October and the first weekend of November from 10 till 4. And we asked for volunteers and we filled it. So we're set on the volunteers. He did have a couple of questions. One was if someone comes that, because we're trying to monitor Victoria residents, and it's only for Victoria residents, and we need to show that you are a resident. So ID, there were two questions. One was the people that are Victoria residents but have an Excelsior or Chaska address on their driver's license. Is there a way to give them information or look at that I was kind of wondering if maybe a water bill could work, if that would work. And then the other thing would be if someone, probably won't happen, but just in case someone came and they were not a resident and they refused to leave and they dumped anyway, he wanted to know what could they do? Could they just take a picture of their vehicle, or what can we do with that? Because we just want to make sure we don't do anything we're not supposed to.
I would assume, that's a good questions, actually. Water bill, and there are people in Victoria that have, I think, also, not only Excelsior, but Chaska
Yeah, I said
addresses
Chaska.
also, right? My guess would be was we'd want to just take a picture. We don't want to interfere.
Yeah.
We don't want to force the issue.
Right, we don't want an altercation, but just in
Right.
case, is it okay to take a picture?
Yeah, so Mayor and Council, a person that space, that property is not generally open to the public. It's not like City Hall where you have public meetings. It's for a specific purpose. And you're entitled to, as a city, limit the dumping to city residents. So in effect, what the person or people at the gate would be saying is, you are not welcome, you're not permitted on this property if you can't demonstrate that you're a city resident. You are trespassing is what you'd be saying in effect, and so it's fine as a matter of enforcement if you want to identify the person through a license plate or a photograph to help law enforcement, that would be fine. I don't believe, and I could be wrong, we'll check, but I don't believe you have a city ordinance that specifically prohibits dumping on city property unless you're a city resident. That would be an unusual city ordinance, to say the least. In other words, I don't think you have an ordinance that you've used in the past when you had this open in the past. So you would rely on the trespassing understanding of your property rights, and that would be the law that's being broken by that person. So.
Okay, and I did get access to a trail camera, so we can set that up.
Oh, perfect. So council, without objection, the direction we should provide is just to take a picture of anybody that follows to fail directions and send that picture to Dana for follow-up.
Seems reasonable. I'm hoping we don't have any issues. But
Yeah, I'd be surprised if we have any issues, but it's better to
Well,
be prepared.
just in case.
Yep, yep.
That was Jim, he just wanted to make sure.
Sure. Do we have a sign that actually says City of Victoria residents only?
Is that,
I'm not aware of any.
No, I did get a sign that says, "Smile, you're on camera."
well, that may
Then I'll
be,
be posting up on the sign,
Councilmember Black, can you also get a sign that says for Victoria residents only?
That's custom. The other one was just a little $10 sign.
That might be helpful, and as by way of enforcement or no trespassing or some kind of thing that,
I think that's a good idea, just to put it up and make it clear out at the end of the driveway before you turn into the Public Works, Victoria residents only. I assume that you could,
We can look into that, council.
okay.
Mayor, if I could just add from experience, the only other issue, really nuanced issue that I've ever seen before in other cities is, what about non-residential property owners, commercial property owners that might have a yard or have space that would create waste? Are you permitting those folks to?
No.
Yeah, so it'd be good to make that clear that you need to be a
Yeah.
residential resident, as in you must really.
Right.
No.
And I thought when we shared this on, with the public, that we make sure that they understand that these are just residents,
No commercial.
no commercial.
Very good.
and I trust we can put that down on the website and some other
Yeah, and-
forms of communication.
Yeah, great.
Okay, council, any final comments on this?
so full 2 weekends?
Yes.
Saturday and Sunday? Okay.
Perfect. Tom, any report?
No report.
I have no report. So I will note one thing. I'm not sure, but this could have been the shortest regularly scheduled council meeting in the history of Victoria. So I don't know how it could be any quicker. I have 14 minutes. So with that, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 We are adjourned.